Hey guys, welcome to week 3 picks here. It's our first prediction show of the year. We're going to have a lot of fun this year making all the picks. I'll tell y'all who's going to win, who's going to lose. Guess what? It's probably going to be you losing. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about our two undefeated teams. You know what? You're riding high. You're on a balloon of success. Your name is Dylan Ratliff. Your name is Mike Atkinson. But guess what? What goes up must come down. Welcome to this week's picks. That's right, week 3 is here. Our first matchup this week is none other than myself, Creston Martin. I'm 1-1 against winless Nick Mowry. Nick, sorry, but your team kind of stinks. You're not looking good. You've got Drew Brees and Odell Beckham and not much else. Drew Brees, let's face it, he's got what it takes to put your team on his back. But guess what? I've got the best #1 wide receiver in the league, Antonio Brown. I've got Russell Wilson, who can make plays with his legs as well as his hands. And I think that my team will send your team back to 0-3. That's right. You will have low self-esteem after this week. You're going to be feeling it. And guess what? Everyone will just be dying laughing at you. You are going to be the laughing stock of our league. That's right, ha ha ha, your team hasn't won a game yet after this week. Now that brings us to our next matchup, which is Alex Kernut against Mike Atkinson. Mike, he is, he's sitting on cloud 9. He's, on the Times Square billboard there. He's 2-0, killed Big Chris. He won his first matchup against Nick Mowry. He's looking good, 2-0. But guess what? Your team is overrated. That's right. Let me paint a little picture here for you, Mike. Mike, you just don't have what it takes. Your team is aging. Matt Forte is getting old. That's right, Matt Forte. He's like 30-something. And your team is going to come back down to earth this week. David Carr, he's still a young man, and he doesn't have what it takes. Eli Manning is going to take you down. That's right, Eli Manning. I like Alex this week. He's going to win big. He's going to tear you down. That's the picture I'm painting for you this week. That's right, you're going to 2-1, boy. I like Alex Kernut to win 110-74. Now let's go to our matchup number 3, which is undefeated Dylan Ratliff against Big Chris. Big Chris has yet to win a game. He was blown out by Mike last week, but he has a good team. He just can't get it together so far. But I like Chris to shoot an arrow, as it were, in Dylan's balloon this week. And he's gonna shoot that arrow and take down undefeated Dylan Ratliff, sending him to 2-1. Really, Dylan shouldn't have won last week. I made a mistake by benching Des Bryant for Arian Foster. And you know what? You don't get lucky that much, Dylan, here in the Bush League. This is where the pros play fantasy football. So your balloon is getting burst by Big Chris. He's going to pull out his AR-15, put a few holes in there. And basically, you're not going to win. That's what's going to happen. You're going to wonder what happened, and what happened was, bam, you got shot. And you're down to 2-1. But 2-1 may be good enough for you, Dylan. Our next matchup we're going to be going over is Daniel Lavoie against Harrison May. Harrison made a kind of a strange first-round pick by picking Tom Brady. But guess what? Tom Brady ain't on the field yet. And guess what? Your other players, Jamal Charles playing against the Jets. The Jets have a great front seven. Bad matchup. You've got LeGarrette Blount against the Texans. Texans have a great defensive line. J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney. That's a great defensive line. Another mark against you, Harrison. I just don't see your team having what it takes, to beat Daniel Lavoie. Daniel Lavoie's got Julio Jones playing against the Saints. The Saints are awful. I can't even name one defensive player on their team that's not injured. Who they have, Sheldon Rankins, and he's out for 2 more months. The Saints stink. Julio Jones is going to run all over them. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to run for touchdowns. I think he'll have a 10-catch performance, 175 yards, 2 scores. This was one of the easier picks to make this week. Daniel Lavoie easily defeats Harrison, 104 to 85. Our next matchup is Zach Sifke versus Christian May. This was also an easy pick. I'm giving the thumbs up to Zach Sifke this week. You know, Zach, you're on the road. That's right, you're on the road to success. This week you've got basically Aaron Rodgers and Todd Gurley. Aaron Rodgers and Todd Gurley have what it takes to win. When you're riding Aaron Rodgers to victory, you're hopping in that cab, guess what? He's going to take you to the promised land this week. You're playing Christian May. Christian has Dak Prescott and Fozzie Whitaker. Dak Prescott and Fozzie Whitaker. You have Aaron Rodgers and Todd Gurley. You have no excuse if you lose this matchup. You've got this one in the bag. I like Zach in this matchup, 115 in a blowout to Christian and his 73 points. He's going to have an awful week. Sorry, Christian, but you're going down this week. You don't have what it takes. You are going down. Bam. So our next matchup is our Game of the Week this week. That's the Game of the Week music there. Our Game of the Week is our defending champ, Kate Lavoie, versus Rich Sozzi. Rich is a newcomer to this league, so he may have to find out the hard way how the Bush League goes. This is a very interesting matchup. You've got Andrew Luck on Kate's team. You have Cam Newton on Rich's team. Who's going to win? Well, guess what? You know, when I have to pick between A.J. Green and Rob Gronkowski, I'm going A.J. Green. That's right, I'm picking Kate Lavoie to win, 113 to 108. That's my picks for this week. I hope you enjoyed them. And remember that if your team loses, bam, you got beat.